The battlefield was silent, not because the war had ended, but because of a single boy standing between two opposing armies. His clothes were torn, his face covered in dust, yet his eyes burned with unwavering determination. He raised his hand, not in surrender, but in command. "Before you strike another blow," he shouted, his voice carrying through the cold morning air, "listen to what I have to say." The warriors, hardened by years of conflict, paused. Curiosity flickered in their eyes. Who was this boy? Why did he dare stand between swords and arrows? The boy inhaled deeply and spoke words that would be remembered for generations. "War is fought over land, over honor, over pride," he said, "but the price is always the same: blood. If victory means burying your own sons, is it truly a victory?" The generals exchanged glances. Some scoffed, others frowned, and yet none moved forward. The boy continued, recounting a story of betrayal, sacrifice, and wisdom, a story that had brought him here, to this moment, a story that, unbeknownst to them, belonged to him. And so he spoke. It all began in a small village nestled between two warring kingdoms. The boy, named Kai, was the son of a humble healer. His father mended wounds, while his mother tended to the sick. They believed in life, not war. But the war did not care for beliefs. It only consumed. One fateful night, soldiers stormed their home. They accused Kai's father of aiding the enemy. Pleas fell on deaf ears, and before Kai's very eyes, his father was taken away, never to return. The boy was left with his mother, who whispered only one thing to him: "Remember, wisdom wins wars, not swords." From that day forward, Kai sought wisdom. He listened to travelers, learned from books, and observed the ways of rulers. He saw how power was wielded and how fear controlled people. Most importantly, he saw the cycle of war, how each side believed they were right, yet neither truly won. And then a prophecy reached his ears, one that spoke of a child who would end the war. Some dismissed it as legend, others as foolish hope. But Kai knew better. If no one else would stop the bloodshed, he would. Kai's plan was daring. Some would call it reckless. But he knew that wisdom, when placed at the right moment, could change the course of history. Dressed as a beggar, he crossed enemy lines. He listened to soldiers in taverns, gathered whispers from the streets, and pieced together a dangerous truth. The war was built on a lie that had been told to keep men fighting, to keep power in the hands of a few. Armed with this knowledge, Kai sought an audience with both kings. But why would rulers listen to a boy? He had no army, no wealth, no status. And yet, he had something more powerful: the truth. He knew he needed to make them listen. And so, he did something no one expected. He walked into the battlefield on the day of the final war. As Kai stood before the armies, he spoke of the deception. He revealed the letters he had stolen from a nobleman's chamber, letters that proved the war was orchestrated for profit. Gasps filled the air. Soldiers, once ready to kill, now hesitated. The truth was undeniable. The war had never been about honor. It had been about greed. But truth alone was not enough. Kai had to prove that peace was the stronger path. So he made the greatest sacrifice. He offered himself as a hostage. If either side still wished to fight, let them begin with him. A heavy silence followed. No one moved. And then, one by one, warriors dropped their weapons. The kings, seeing the tides turn, had no choice but to negotiate. In the end, the war did not end with a battle. It ended with a boy's courage. Kai's actions forged a peace treaty, one that lasted for generations. His name became legend, his wisdom immortalized in history. And as he walked away from the battlefield, his mother's words echoed in his heart: "Wisdom wins wars, not swords." The boy who stopped a war had done so not with strength, but with truth. And in doing so, he proved that even in a world ruled by power, wisdom could still prevail.